What's up, everybody? It's me here, and I am with another video. And it's always so awkward whenever I start these videos out because I feel like I have to have a reason why I'm here. A good intro and say why I'm here, but I'm really just here. And that's it. Like, it's me here, and I'm here. This is a follow-up to the last video that I posted where I talked about how I got so fit. That subject right there is a subject that there is so much to it, not just one single way that I got fit. So I went over some of the ways that I got fit in that video. I asked people to ask questions they want me to talk about or say things they want me to talk about in the last video. So I'm gonna go over a couple of the things that were mentioned in the comments from the last video. I'm here, and that's why I'm here. And I guess I really did have a reason to why I was here, even though I thought that I didn't have a reason. I did, because I'm here to talk about the last video and the comments in the last video. So I'm here, and I'm here. Okay, so this time I got my iPad right here. I got some notes to look down on and to talk about. The first thing that I want to talk about is when I started working out, whenever I first got started with the training, with the weight training, because before that I was all more about cardio, and I was building my cardio up, and I wasn't doing weight training at first. It started because I got inspiration from Dakota, and at the time he was doing push-ups every day, and he was into working out, and it kind of inspired me to want to start doing that myself. Seeing the results that he was getting. I remember at one time he was doing push-ups for like 3 months, and he was looking pretty jacked, you know, for doing the push-ups. And I remember thinking that he was looking buff. So after talking to him about it for many days, many times, I finally started to do the push-ups myself. I would do, I believe my first goal was 50 push-ups a day. Whenever I was first trying to do them, it was a challenge. Like, I could not go down all the way whenever I would do push-ups. I was going down like halfway, breathing very, very hard while I was doing them, and, you know, making those weird sounds and whatnot. Over time, I'm getting better at the push-ups. I'm eventually able to go down all the way and do a proper push-up. My number went up from 50 push-ups from whenever I first started to doing, I think 300 and something push-ups a day was whenever I stopped being like obsessed with the push-up thing. And whenever I would do these, it wouldn't be all of them in a row. So I wouldn't get down and just do 50 push-ups nonstop. And I certainly wouldn't be doing 300 push-ups all in a row. The way I would do it is I would spread them out throughout the day. At the time, I was working for a company that worked with developmentally disabled adults. In my job, I would have to take the participants to different places around the town. So we'd go to like the food bank, and we'd go to the library, and some of the participants had jobs. And while I was working, I still had that goal to do push-ups. I remember being at the park, and I would just be doing my push-ups while I was working right there at the park. Going to the movie theater one time, and before the movie would start, I was doing push-ups, and even while the movie was going. And I'd be at the library, and I'd go to the bathroom, and I'd do like 50 push-ups in there. So I was just spreading the push-ups out throughout the day. Eventually, I started using dumbbells, which I had got from Goodwill, but I never used. I bought them, and I also priced them. So, you know, I got them for a very, very good deal. They were probably worth much more than I paid for them. They were just sitting around, so I finally started to use them. I was starting to learn on YouTube and watching bodybuilders train on there. Seeing the way that they trained, and bodybuilders are going balls to the wall. They're going hard, you know. So that's the way that I started out. You know, I didn't know many exercises. I was just doing whatever I was seeing on YouTube. I changed up my routine. So I would still do my push-ups, but I started adding in like the weight training. I would get my dumbbells, and I would start with like 25 dumbbell curls in each arm. So I'd go this arm, and then I would do the other arm. And while I was doing these, I was not focused on technique at all. I was not focused on anything other than just going hard and getting that weight up. And My bicep feels like it's like tearing, and I'm just doing it at all costs, trying to get that weight up. You know, that might not have been the best way to start out. And I would do this for every exercise too. So I do my dumbbell curls, and then I would do like a set of 20 push-ups, and then I would get up, and then I would do some like behind the back tricep extensions. And all of this is horrible technique. All of this is horrible form. I'm going so hard, like it's crazy. And I'm like screaming in my living room. And if I would have been at Planet Fitness, I could almost guarantee they probably would have kicked me out. The lurk alarm would have gone off, and I might not be here today talking about this if I had been in the gym. Like I might have gave up or something if I would have got kicked out of the gym for trying to work out and going hard, but I didn't. And I ended up working out in my house for the first year of my weight training. I had like a little tally mark on the side of the room, and I would do about 5 exercises with the dumbbell curls and then the push-ups. And then I would try to do some like shoulder things, like shoulder presses. And then I would go to the wall and I would do some wall push-ups, and then I would do some diamond push-ups. I was trying to get a good variety of exercises in, even though I was not very educated at the time. I was just trying to have a full upper body workout rather than just the push-ups, which is where I started. Let me go back to my cheat sheet real quick. It's actually kind of surprising that I did not get injured. I talked about in my last video how like the training was painful, and even doing this horrible technique where I feel like stuff is gonna tear. My bad knee, you know, I talked about all of that in my last video, but I never got any serious injuries. So I've like had shoulder problems and elbow problems and knee problems, but none of this was like anything breaking or actually tearing, which I am very grateful that that didn't happen, because it could have been bad. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I actually did have a injury. I believe it was my elbow. And at the time, I thought it was worse than it was, because even now I still have elbow problems and shoulder every once in a while. But I do remember I did stop for like 1 week because I had injured my elbow, I think it was. And I'm kind of drawing a blank right now. I'll have to think about it to remember what it was. I think I posted about it before, so I will try to figure that out. But I remember I did get some kind of injury, but I don't think the injury was as serious as I thought the injury was at the time. But I never got messed up too bad during my whole time of training ever. I've never like tore a muscle or dislocated something or jacked something up. Okay, so I'm very lucky that that did not ever happen to me. Although I know that it's not necessary to go as hard as you possibly can, to the point where you might possibly hurt yourself, or, you know, if you don't warm up and you just go into the gym and you start going crazy right away before your body is ready for it. I am actually glad that I started off training hard, because I feel like most of the time people, whenever they go to the gym, they don't train hard enough. For me, I was training hard, harder than I probably had to train, but some people stop before they even get to that point of training hard. And for me, my goals are to be as jacked as I possibly can. Like, I want to build muscle. I want to have an amazing physique. I want to have a crazy physique. And I've always kept that in my mind. So I believe that's why I thought, and I've always known, that I have to go hard if I want to get there, because I'm not going to get there if I just go the easy route, you know? So I'm just grateful that I started off training harder than I needed to, because that prepared me for the rest of my training for my life. So I know how to work hard. I know how to train hard. And that's because I started going off way harder than I possibly should have, which is why I'm grateful that I never got injured. My skincare routine, Sabrina mentioned that my skin looks pretty good, and you know, it's all right. You know, there's a little close up. Maybe I should back up before you change your mind, because, you know, things a little bit farther away look a little bit better than if they're closer up. You know, then you could really see the details in there. Now, we don't need to get into the details. You don't need to see me all this close up. Like I said in the comments, just regular showers. I use Dove body and face wash. So, you know, wash the body, scrub the face, you know, just regular stuff. Skin, for me, has never been too bad of a thing. I've never had really bad acne, never break out too bad. A zit here and there, it pops up sometimes now. But I've always had fairly decent skin. I always get compliments on my skin, sometimes not so much, but sometimes my skin. I get compliments for my teeth. People think my teeth are like really white. Also, I get compliments on my hair. I think that all of these things got better as I got healthier. I don't know if that's for sure, but I feel like my teeth weren't always this white. And there was a time when I went to the dentist and they gave me these trays that were not for teeth whitening, but they were for like deep cleaning. So you put them in there and it's like deep cleaning. After that, my teeth got really white. But I have not had those for over 2 years. So I would think over time they would have got less white, less white, less white. But I still get the compliments quite frequently. There was a time where people started saying my hair was growing or my hair was looking better, and my hair hasn't grown in so long. So maybe it just looked a little bit fuller than it did before. I'm not sure. But I think with hair, with skin, with teeth, I feel like all of that gets better the healthier you get. Back in the day, I was not putting good things in my body. I was not exercising. I was not drinking the best drinks that would be good for your teeth, you know? And now by completely changing everything, changing my entire lifestyle and becoming a healthier person, I think that is part of the reason why my features look better now. Because I feel like having good health just makes everything better. So, you know, I'm not no scientist. I'm not no, I was gonna say gynecologist, but I was thinking of dermatologist. I'm not none of that. There was a time whenever I used to take a lot of supplements. I would take turmeric, I would take this, I would take that, the multivitamin, this and that, and this and that, and this and that. I feel like SpongeBob. But I don't think that was really much of a help, even though I took it religiously. Like, I thought the collagen was the reason that everything was getting better. And I think it was just because the whole health journey, just getting healthier and everything getting better from that. I don't think it was necessarily any one supplement or any one thing. Jessica talked about how I should get on TikTok, and I was on TikTok at one time before. I was really into it. I was really into making content on there, which most of it is a little bit cringe now, but I kind of like that because I will never ever delete any of my cringe. Even though there is some questionable stuff on my videos from the past, and I'm a lot different now than I was before, I feel like those are all memories and all things that I am grateful to have and grateful that I could look back on. And if there's nothing else that I could look back on, I at least can see the growth in myself. So I will never delete any of that. But as for right now, I feel like the #1 place for me to be is on Facebook. And that's because that's where I have the most people. This is where I'm most active. Now, I will also put these videos on my YouTube account, which is definitely not as active as I am on here, because I have like 1,000 something subscribers, but how many of them actually like look at my stuff and even know who I am or even care that I post anything? I feel like that's very few, a very small number. I feel like Facebook is my main place where I get the most reach, where I know the most people, and I have the most people that I care about. So I feel like this is where most of my videos are gonna be. Could I get more reach on TikTok? Probably. Could I get famous on TikTok? Probably. But you know, I don't even care right now. I just want to get back into making videos and actually putting out videos and giving people something to see and to see me. And I want to help people out, you know? So if you guys have any more questions that you want to ask me, or anything that you want me to go over and talk about that might be a help to you, let me know in the comments. Or if you do not want to be seen in public asking these questions, you could send me a DM and give me things to think about, you guys. Give me things that I could help you with. What can I help you with? We all have the same problems. We just have different ways that we experience these problems. So I've probably had the same problems as you. We all have the same problems. So even if it's not necessarily about fitness, it could be anything, you know, and maybe I could relate it to myself in some way and give you a new way to think about it. So if you guys have anything you want me to cover, please leave comments down below. Let me know what you want to hear me talk about, and I will see y'all in the next video. Y'all have a nice night, and I'm blasting off.